Aesop's Fable EP14, The Patient Rabbit and the Taunting Fox. Scene 1, The Taunting begins. In a peaceful meadow surrounded by a thick forest, there lived a gentle rabbit named Remy. Remy was known for his kind heart and calm nature. He loved spending his days hopping through the meadow, nibbling on clover, and playing with his friends. But there was one animal who seemed to take pleasure in making Remy's life difficult, a cunning fox named Felix. Felix enjoyed teasing the other animals, but he especially loved to taunt Remy because of his calm demeanor. He would hide behind bushes and jump out suddenly, trying to scare Remy, or he would make fun of Remy's big ears and fluffy tail. The other animals watched, unsure of how Remy would respond, but Remy never reacted. He simply smiled and continued on his way, refusing to let Felix's words or actions bother him. One day, Felix decided to take his taunting even further. As Remy was peacefully nibbling on some grass, Felix crept up behind him and yelled, "Watch out, Remy! There's a snake right behind you." Remy jumped slightly, but when he turned around and saw that it was just Felix, he sighed and smiled calmly. "Felix, you can try to scare me, but it won't work," Remy said gently. "I know you're just trying to get a reaction, but I won't give you the satisfaction." Felix laughed and ran off, but deep down, he was annoyed that his tricks didn't work on Remy. Scene 2, The Challenge. As time passed, Felix continued his taunting, each time trying harder to make Remy lose his temper. He spread rumors about Remy among the other animals, saying that Remy was a coward who was too scared to stand up for himself. Some of the younger animals began to believe Felix, thinking that maybe Remy was too soft. One day, Felix decided to challenge Remy in front of all the animals. He called out to everyone in the meadow, saying, "Everyone, gather around. Let's see if Remy the rabbit can finally stand up for himself." The animals gathered, curious to see what would happen. Felix walked up to Remy with a sly grin and said, "I bet you're too scared to race me through the forest. I'll even give you a head start, but you'll still lose. And when you do, everyone will know that you're just a weak, scared rabbit." Remy looked at Felix and then at the other animals, who were watching closely. He knew that Felix was trying to embarrass him, but he also knew that reacting in anger wouldn't solve anything. "Felix," Remy replied calmly, "I don't need to prove anything to you or anyone else. I know who I am, and I'm comfortable with that. If you want to race, we can race, but it won't change who I am." The animals were surprised by Remy's response. Even though Felix was trying to provoke him, Remy remained calm and refused to let anger control him. Scene 3, The Race Through the Forest. Despite Remy's calm response, Felix insisted on the race. Remy agreed, not because he wanted to prove anything, but because he knew it was the only way to put an end to Felix's taunts. The animals gathered at the edge of the forest to watch the race, eager to see what would happen. Felix, confident that he would win, allowed Remy a head start. Remy began the race at a steady pace, moving through the forest with grace and ease. Felix, on the other hand, sprinted ahead quickly, determined to catch up and humiliate Remy. As the race continued, Felix's overconfidence began to work against him. He darted through the forest, but in his haste, he took the wrong path and got tangled in some thick vines. Meanwhile, Remy stayed on course, moving steadily and carefully. He didn't rush, nor did he worry about Felix's taunts. He simply focused on the path ahead, knowing that the race wasn't about winning, but about staying true to himself. When Felix finally freed himself from the vines and reached the finish line, he was shocked to see Remy already there, waiting calmly. The other animals cheered for Remy, not because he had won the race, but because he had shown patience, humility, and grace under pressure. Scene 4, the respect earned. After the race, Felix was humbled. He realized that no matter how much he taunted or provoked Remy, the rabbit never lost his temper or responded with anger. Instead, Remy had shown strength in his ability to remain calm and kind, even in the face of mockery. Felix approached Remy with a newfound respect. "Remy, I was wrong to taunt you," Felix admitted. "I tried to make you angry and prove that you were weak, but now I see that true strength comes from within. You've shown me that it's better to stay calm and be yourself than to react out of anger." Remy smiled warmly. "Thank you, Felix," he said. "It takes a lot of courage to admit when you're wrong. We all have the ability to choose how we respond to others, and I believe that kindness and patience are always the best choices." From that day on, Felix stopped taunting Remy and the other animals. He learned that respect is earned not through power or aggression, but through understanding, patience, and the ability to remain calm in difficult situations. The animals in the meadow came to admire Remy even more, seeing him as a true example of strength and integrity. Moral of the story: true strength lies in self-control and patience. Responding to challenges with calmness and kindness earns respect and shows true character.